wanna see some crazy and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, for sure it's so funny. Yeah, everything's better with them. We're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. We don't work.
All right, today we are tackling our to-do list. I know I mentioned a couple videos back, or maybe my last video, that one of the things on my to-do list was deep cleaning, decluttering, and organizing my kitchen, especially before the holidays. This is so important. It makes holiday season so much easier. So I'm just starting by doing a general tidy of the kitchen. I wanted to make sure all the dishes were cleaned and everything. That way, as I started going through cabinets and drawers, I can truly visually see everything I have. Plus, I just like starting in a clean slate because it feels so much less overwhelming. Projects like this can already mentally be very overwhelming. I don't know about you, but I always make things seem so much harder than they actually are in real life. So this is one way I have just learned to trick my brain to make it less stressful and a lot more manageable. The other thing is, I know I have to take things in steps. I have a million and one things to do during the day, between running the kids to and from school and meals, and obviously having a 1-year-old that, by the way, if you haven't seen our family vlog, she has just started walking, and oh my goodness, this is my favorite time. It's the cutest thing in the world. She's like that drunk sailor wobbling around. Absolutely adorable. But needless to say, when they start walking, it gets also to be a little bit more complicated during the day.
We don't wanna be like you. Don't wanna be like you. Don't wanna act like you. Don't wanna be like you. Don't wanna act like you. And I know that I'm just wasting time, but I don't wanna let it go. I don't wanna let it go. And I know that I might not be fine, but I will never let it go. No, I will never let.
Now, I am someone that I don't have hours and hours that I can strictly dedicate to cleaning when I am home. It's different when I go and do my Helping Hand series because I don't have littles with me at that time. But when I am home, it is more complicated. I'm sure you noticed when I was cleaning the dishes that Athena was getting into the bathroom, so I had to step away and get her out of the cabinets. That's her new favorite thing to do, is take out all the towels from under the bathroom cabinets. So I take it step by step. I am someone, and I've said this before, Marie Kondo, great. She is a motivator for sure, but I have tried her method and I can't do it. Part of it is it stresses me out, but the other part is I just can't dedicate that much time to pull everything out, go through everything in one sitting. I can tell you right now, this kitchen project is going to be a 2-parter. There is no way I can get the entire kitchen deep cleaned, decluttered, and organized in just one day. So break it down little by little. Like I said, starting off by just giving it a clean slate. But then you're going to see here in a little bit that I'm going to be moving into the pantry. And I didn't have a set goal of how much I wanted to get done this day. I just knew I was going to take it one area at a time, one cabinet at a time, and one drawer at a time. So that way, when I needed to stop, I could stop, and the kitchen didn't feel overwhelming or stressful. And I know I can pick it up the next day and keep on with that progress.
Long time gone, turning heads left, right. So damn done, taking this back bite. No, you can't cover this up, you're already stuck. Oh, before long, you're gonna get so tired, you gotta get out.
I also like to sprinkle in tasks that I love doing. Did I need to scrub out this sink? No, it probably could have waited, But I enjoy cleaning my sink. There is something so satisfying by just the suds and bubbles and how good it looks when it's done that sprinkling in some of those chores that you really enjoy doing is a great help. Another big motivation is turning on something you love. Now in the kitchen, I don't have sight to the TV, so I don't usually have the TV on. Lately, my obsession is turning on Pandora, and I have a Josiah Queen radio station, so it plays any type of Christian music that's kind of like Josiah Queen, which I love. It's upbeat, it's motivational, it gets me like really ready to get stuff done. But anything that kind of motivates you, if you want to grab a tablet and turn on a YouTube video or an audio book, I feel like anything that can kind of get you mentally out of realizing what you're doing is something that motivates you to keep on going. It also helps the time pass, and you will be surprised how much you can get done doing 15, 20, 30 minutes here and there. Especially since I feel like often, even with my videos, I was just talking to my friends the other day, Jessie, Lynn, and Jamie, and saying how in these 30 minutes, like I wish I could get this much done in 30 minutes, but these are things that literally take all day. And it's one thing that you do miss on the YouTube videos because often it is edited out. The obviously going and taking care of the baby, maybe sitting on the couch for a little while, running here and there everywhere. And this is definitely not one of those situations. Like stuff gets done in 15, 30-minute increments, and then usually I have to do something else and come back, which is why I like doing it this way so much more than let's pull everything out. And in some ways, especially when it comes to motivation in a video, it can be super motivating to see those people that do the pull everything out, go through everything all at once. But I also want to be very real with you guys and kind of walk you through the process that is less overwhelming, because for a lot of us, it isn't the fact that cleaning is difficult, but it's the fact that when you add cleaning onto your 1,000,001 tasks, it can feel really overwhelming. Being a housewife, a stay-at-home mom, all of these things, in one thing at a time isn't ever difficult. Taking the kids to and from school, not a hard task. Making dinner, not a hard task. Tidying up the house, not a hard task. It's the everything on top of it. So it's the taking the kids to school and cleaning the house and this and that and setting up doctor's appointments and. It's those ands that can be so overwhelming. So I like to show my process of taking away some of that stress and anxiety that can feel so overwhelming with keeping up with stuff. I also always tell you guys, do it more often. The things you hate doing because it seems like it takes forever and is super overwhelming, and we push off, and those are things we do once a year, you are actually making it so much harder on yourself. By doing it instead of once a year, maybe 4 times a year, it makes it less stressful, less overwhelming, because there's not as much stuff to go through in the long run.
On a Saturday night, I should have gone to bed, but I'm feeling alright. I'm thinking about us, girl, and I hate that we fight. Regretting what's been said and done. I guess I really need to tell you how I'm feeling inside. Even if I try, can't get you out of my mind. Suddenly it's obvious that you're the one. Listen what I say, are you ready or not? Time to step it up, give it all you got. I'll be on my way, waiting outside your door.
All right, moving on to this bottom shelf is where I got really, really sad. This bottom shelf is where we keep all the kids' snacks. It's easy for them to reach. So we have popcorn down there, granola bars. It changes, honestly, week to week. But behind that is where I've kept all my water glassed eggs. This is the first year I tried water glassing eggs. And I've learned the importance to really make sure there are no cracks in any of the eggs, because a lot of these jars were bad. I had so many eggs that I had to toss. I literally almost was in tears when I told Bobby. I'm like, I did everything. So next year, when my girls are laying again, I am going to candle my eggs to make sure there's no hair-lined cracks in them, because it only takes one bad egg to destroy the bunch. Out of all of these jars, I only had 3 jars that were still good. The rest I had to dump out, and yeah, I was so sad. Now, did it cost me anything? Not really. A little bit of the pickling lime obviously was lost, but those were eggs that were supposed to get us through the entire winter when our girls weren't laying. And now with the holidays especially coming up, I'm probably going to have to end up buying eggs this winter. I do know, though, this is a learning experience. Everyone's got to learn. But yeah, that had me very, very sad when I pulled those out and noticed over half of my eggs, probably about 2/3 of my eggs, were bad, and I had to toss them.
You are all I want and more. And girl, I know we're better than the rest together. So much more. It ain't better to be alone. Let me show you what it's like. Just step into my life. Don't you fight this feeling if it's right. Just hold on and never let go. We're better together. Yeah, better together. Better together.
Now, when it comes to cleaning even my pantry, you can see that I did take everything out to start because I wanted to, like I said, we are deep cleaning, and even if the shelf wasn't that bad, like this one was pretty much just my microwave that I keep in there, I wanted to get in there, vacuum it out really good. I'm just using my pine salt to clean it all out. This is a time that makes it a lot easier, but I am also trying to do the easiest shelves first. So the top shelf, pretty simple. The next shelf, actually, it's this 4th shelf that is the most difficult because that's where I keep like my pantry staples and extras and things like that. So pasta and rice and chips and extra flour and sugar and the random stuff like that. So after I had everything cleaned, I did the easy shelves, and then I did this bottom shelf, and then I went in and organized and decluttered that other shelf, because that is the shelf I knew that if things had been expired, it's going to be on that shelf. If things are just stuff we don't like, it's going to be on that shelf. So I wanted to do this last. That way the whole counter situation was less stressful because most of it was put back away. So I'm purely just dealing with the stuff from this one shelf.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. I got tons of soul, I'm a true collectible. Famous, also famous, #1 desirable. I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in, yeah, that's how I roll. I got change to throw, I don't care about no gold. Better, so much better, flipping incredible. Always on the show, so they know that I still got it, and I never feel sorry, yeah.
The other thing I was doing when I was going through like anything that had to do with like spices or food or anything on this day is every time I saw something that had to be replenished, I put it in my Walmart app. I love using Walmart for Walmart deliveries. It makes my life so much easier. One, instead of constantly like having a grocery list, I literally just put it in my cart and it's like a natural grocery list. And then I can have it delivered once I hit a certain amount and I feel like, okay, now's a good time. I've also found that it has actually like saved me money in the long run because I'm not like wandering the store when I'm hungry and picking up all the random stuff. Now, not a crazy huge difference in this pantry you can see, but so much better. Like I said, I saw exactly what I needed to replace, so that was all going into my Walmart order for the next day. Now, this cabinet is my dishes / baked goods type cabinet, this is the stuff I grab for on the regular. So the very top shelf, this basket is all baking stuff. So like if I am making cupcakes or cookies or whatever, it is in this basket. And I love baskets. I am short, so these top cabinets, even with a step stool, can be difficult to get at. So I use the basket so that if I'm baking something, I just need to grab the basket and everything comes down with it. And I then also keep any extras on top. So extra flour, extra sugar, extra like chocolate chips or stuff. Anything that I don't grab for on the regular goes on that very top shelf. The middle shelf is going to be my staples. So vegetable oil, olive oil, rice, flour, literally anything that's like that. And then the bottom shelf is dishes. That way I'm just not moving around all the time when I am cooking. Pretty much everything I need is either in this cabinet or the one to the left of the stove, which has all of my spices. But let me know, when is the last time you actually like took everything out, gave it a good vacuum, a good wipe down? I definitely haven't done this in probably about a year. I like to go in and reorganize stuff, but actually taking it out and wiping it all down does not happen probably as often as it should. So this felt really good to get it all done. I was also telling Bobby, how do these cabinets get so dirty? Like, I get this one because it does have the oils, the cooking vinegars, stuff like that. But like when there's just clean dishes in it, why and how does it get so dirty?
Let's say I let you call me baby. Let's say I let you hold my hand. Let's say I let you stay for coffee in the morning, 'cause you spent the night right next to me. Let's say I let you buy me dinner. Let's say I let you meet my friends. Let's say I let you have my number. Well, I guess this time I didn't stand a chance.
This bottom shelf was giving me a hard time though, because I wasn't sure exactly like how I wanted it laid out. I still don't know if I love the way it's laid out, but I was just moving around like, okay, how am I gonna do this? How do I make it work? It was difficult. Honestly, those small plates we don't use regularly. I could probably put them in a completely different cabinet, but because it's a set, I'm like, I feel like they should all be together. So I ended up going by height, tallest thing to shortest thing, and I feel like that looks the best. Let me know in the cabinets or in the comments, not in the cabinets. See, I'm talking about cabinets and I'm going blank. In the comments below, let me know if you would organize it differently or if you have any recommendations. I felt like that looked the best for what I was doing. But next one is my spice cabinet. This one isn't horrible. Once again, like the other cabinet, I use baskets because if you have a small cabinet like this, there's not many organizers that you can fit in here well. And when I am cooking, I am using a lot of spices. So to have to get a step stool and move the spices around to find the one spice I need just isn't realistic. So I like being able to grab a basket and have all of my spices, and then I put them back in the cabinet and it looks neat and tidy. Highly recommend if you have this skinny cabinet like this and you're trying to figure out what to do with your spices, get yourself some baskets. Makes such a huge difference. So my main thing was taking it all out, cleaning out it, and then going through seeing what spices I was running low on, what spices have expired or just aren't good anymore, and then putting it all back in there. I do try and keep it somewhat organized. So you'll see like my bigger bulk spices. So that's going to be like my garlic, my cinnamon, things like that that I use on a regular basis goes in one, and then the ones I grab less often go on the top in their own bin as well. I also think it's important to point out that I am a lazy girl at heart. I am, and I know that can be hard to believe when watching my videos on here, which is why I always try to remind you guys that this is just like a snippet of my life. But at heart, I am a lazy girl. I would much, much rather not do these type of things in my house. So I have tried and worked on ways to make this part of my life so much easier, because even though I don't love doing it and I would much rather do other things with my time, I know how important this is for my mental health. So one of the big things is I have become minimalish. I'm not a minimalist by any means. I will never be a minimalist. I actually see people that are minimalist and I feel like their houses are so boring and sad, but that's like my personal feeling. So I need stuff. But I do try and keep it down to a minimal as much as possible. If my cabinets aren't full, it doesn't bother me anymore. Honestly, if I had an empty cabinet, it wouldn't bother me, because it's like, you know what? I don't need to fill that space. And the less things you have, the easier it is to get things clean and organized. It takes less time, less effort. So that is a big reason I started decluttering, and I will keep decluttering. Because the other thing is, am I a huge shopper? No. Do I shop? Absolutely. So there's always things that need to be decluttered. But the other thing is our routines are always changing. So things that I needed a year ago, I may not need today. And I feel like that is another huge misconception when it comes to decluttering. Like, well, you declutter all the time. You obviously have a shopping problem. And that can very much not be true. It could just be that your needs and routines have changed. And especially when you have kids, like, what I need changes so much, like every 6 months or so, or sometimes more than that. So decluttering on a regular basis is so important. The other thing is, I also struggle sometimes with decluttering. And actually, just a quick example. So in the cabinet above the refrigerator, I'm going to do that here in a second, there's not much I keep up there because I cannot reach it without a ladder, but certain things that I don't use on a regular basis. So I had a blender up there. Usually I don't use that because if I need a blender, I just have my little blender bottles and that does sufficient, but there are times that I need it. I had a large, regular coffee pot, a Dutch oven, and some KitchenAid items that I got 10 years ago. It was a spiralizer and a cheese grater. But I never pull out the coffee pot. I saved it for when guests come over, if guests are here and I want to make a whole pot of coffee, it doesn't happen. But I was saving it as a just in case. The spiralizer, I don't spiralize zucchini. I just don't. I don't think I ever have. And the cheese grater. Cheese grater, now, it is great. But here's the thing. I am not going to pull out my huge, heavy KitchenAid just to grate cheese. And now that I have that hand crank cheese grater, I'm really never going to do it. So those are things that I have been holding on for years, that I have finally decided on this day that I'm like, okay, it's been 10 years. I have never opened these KitchenAid boxes, ever. I need to let them go. And then with the coffee pot, I'm like, we have never, since living in this house, had to make a full pot of coffee. People have come over and asked for a cup of coffee, and I've been able to make it in our espresso machine, but we've never needed a whole pot. And I finally let it go. And you're going to find that that happens a lot. You'll hold on to something for years and years and years, and then one day you're like, all right, I am finally ready. That makes sense. I'm just going to let it go.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart
So I ended up needing Bobby to help me with this because even with the step stool, and then I grabbed one of his like ladders, I still could not reach the back of this cabinet. Another reason I don't put a lot of stuff in this cabinet. So I asked him to come up here and clean it out. That way it was done. And you can see the only stuff I put back in here was my mixer and my Dutch oven. That is it. Like I said, I don't grab these on a regular basis, so they go up there. I try and keep that cabinet as minimal as possible. It's just, like I said, I'm short. There's not much I put up there because I don't want to have to be grabbing a ladder on a regular basis. But I was excited to finally be like, okay, all the uppers are done, and now I can start working on these lower cabinets. It always surprises me how dirty these cabinets get, though. I'm going to show you here in a second, and it's like, how do so many crumbs and stuff get in here? So I do always declutter a little bit as I'm organizing this out and put stuff back where it belongs. Like, I had one of, I showed you that vacuum because people always ask me about my little hand vacuum, so I figured I would show it to you guys. This is usually by my coffee station because it helps clean up coffee grounds when it gets everywhere, but I also use it for situations like this just because it's so much easier. But like I said, I had random things that just didn't belong in here. So one of the things I had was one of my icing knives. It's a knife, or like, it's not even a knife. It's like a skinny spatula that you use when you're decorating cakes. So that was in here. It doesn't belong in here. It belongs in the basket on the top shelf that I told you earlier has all of my baking goods in it. And then I also had like 2 black spoons in here that go specifically with my 3-pot slow cooker, or it is a slow cooker, but I usually use it for get-togethers when I need to keep things warm, and they specifically go with that set. So I was able to take things out, put them back where they belong, and then if there was little things that I knew I didn't need anymore, let them go. I have been trying slowly to downsize the amount of gadgets I have in my kitchen. I love cooking. I have gotten to where I really enjoy baking, so gadgets are hard for me to like let go of. But I do find often that I have certain gadgets and I'll still grab for the simple things to get it done. So if I need to chop something up, usually I'm just grabbing a knife and not some fancy chopper or things like that. So I just trying to go through, get everything the way I want it. Now, okay, so that flat like scrapey thing that you saw me put in, I do usually just use that for cakes, but I will say the reason I keep it down here at all times is if I really have something stuck onto a pan, like a sheet pan that I have cooked on, that is what I grab to clean it off and scrape it off. So that is why that stays down here. Normally that would also be something that should go in my baking bin, but I have found that that makes my life so much easier. But talking about things that I'm letting go. So one of the things I'm letting go is this little resealable chip clip bag thing. I bought it. I thought it'd be really cool that the kids would use it. We would use it. And we did for about a month. And then no one used it anymore. Everyone grabbed for just the chip clips, not that. And so I'm like, okay, gonna let it go. It is not working into our routine, our like normal, and that is totally okay. So if you have something that you're like, this is going to make life so much easier, and it does not function for you, the thing works. There's nothing wrong with it. It definitely does what it's supposed to do. But for our family, it does not fit in. People don't grab it. It doesn't get used. So it just made sense to take it out of there. It's one less thing. It may not make a massive difference like right now, but if you do stuff like this on a regular basis, that's what helps maintain and slowly lessen the amount of work you have to do in your house.
I am not the victim of this love affair. You can make me
once again, another drawer that is just filthy, and I'm like, how is it so dirty when clean things are supposed to be the things going in here? So this is, like I said, why I was doing this deep clean and declutter. Take everything out, give everything a good cleaning like this. This also just makes the whole house feel so much fresher and cleaner when you get in here and do something like this. I don't do it all the time, like I said. Actually taking stuff out and wiping things completely down every single cabinet in my house probably happens, let's say, once to twice a year, because I will like pick random areas of my kitchen throughout the year to do, like, I'll decide to just do the junk drawer and the silverware drawer, or just do like my spice cabinet. But actually to do the whole kitchen and just give the whole kitchen a reset, that only happens about once a year. This was good though, because I was able to get in here and wipe everything down, take out things that I knew I wasn't using. This cabinet, a lot of the stuff I do use. So this was definitely a cabinet where I'm like, I don't know how much I'm actually going to get rid of, because I do use it. And some of this stuff I may not use like regularly, but like springform pans, those are things that I'm not using them on a regular basis, but when I need one, I need one. So like this year, making the kids ice cream cakes, I'm going to use a springform pan. If I'm going to make a cheesecake, I need that. So just going through, pretty much keeping everything. But I did get rid of one of my cooling racks for cookies because it had snapped. It was broken, which I didn't realize till taking everything out. And then one of my bread pans, because there was one bread pan that I just don't grab for. And rarely am I making 3 loaves of bread at a time. Normally it's just the 2. So I was like, okay, I can let go of those. But like I said, just these little things. I got rid of 2 things out of this cabinet, but it also got reorganized. It got cleaned. It makes a huge difference. And it actually felt like there was so much more room in that cabinet because I just took those couple minutes to go through everything. Now, at this point, I was done. I was over all of this. So I'm like, all right, I got to start dinner soon anyway. Just tidy everything up, put everything away, and then be done for the day. Like I said, I knew this was not going to be a one-day project. However, I did get a lot more done on this day than I had originally anticipated getting done. So I was very, very proud of myself. And that is why I always tell you guys it's about progress, not perfection. Because no, I didn't get everything done today. This kitchen is not perfect, but the progress that was made is amazing. And even if it takes me a week to get to the next part of it, which I'm hoping it doesn't, like I said, I really want to get the rest of this done pretty quickly. But you never know. Life happens. People get sick. You just never know. And I'm someone that I just never know. But once again, do little at a time. I don't tackle taking everything out of every single cabinet. And it made this a very reasonable, easy way to do it. And if you are doing it and you're like, wow, you still got so much done, take it at your own pace. Like, you do not need to do as much as I did. If you can just tackle one cabinet or one drawer a day. Think if you just said, okay, I'm just going to do one cabinet, one drawer. How many days would it take you to go through your kitchen? Is it a month? Is it a week? Those little steps, it's kind of like losing weight. Like, oh, it's only a pound. It's only a pound. It seems so insignificant in the moment. But a week later, a month later, it feels so good when it has all added up in the end. So never take how much or as little as you can do as a reason to not do something, because every little step forward is still a step forward. And if you are consistent with that, even if you are a lazy girl like me, those little steps add up. And that is how I'm able to maintain a clean house even while being a lazy girl at heart. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, comment. If you are new here, I would love if you would subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We have a nice 9-day break for Thanksgiving with the kids, so it is going to be hectic in this house, but I will see you next time. Bye.